I'm the Gadget Guru, Andy Parr, and you're watching thevog.net. I'm here with DSJR, and we are at the Daytona Beach Speedway. It's Bike Week. We're at the Victory Tent where they're giving test rides. And what we're going to do today, Don is going to test ride a Judge. Have you ever ridden one before?
Nope, this will be my first chance.
Okay, let's just recap. You've owned a bunch of Vegases, a Vision, a cross country. You're currently riding a Crossroads. What are your expectations of the Judge?
Really going into it open-minded. I have no expectations. I hope it rides a little better than the Vegas, and who knows, it may be the next one.
Okay, just so we can take an overall look at this bike. It's basically built on the same tubular platform as the Vegas, am I correct?
Correct.
What are the main differences that you can see? I mean, granted, it's a different tank, different seat. What do you see and what do you expect this? Do you expect this to be more in tune to a ride of the Vegas or more in something like the Crossroads?
I'm thinking it's going to fall in between, mainly because of the handlebar position. It's definitely a lean forward design, so we're just going to have to see how comfortable it is. As far as cosmetically, I think the bike looks great. Pretty much they took the tank off of a Crossroads or cross country, it looks like, maybe a little smaller.
How about the foot peg position compared to the Vegas or the Crossroads?
It looks like it's further back. I'm not positive on that. Once I ride, I'll be able to tell you more about that.
Okay, now I'm going to step back for a minute. Let's look at the seating position. Why don't you have a seat on this? And I come back, I notice it's a little bit of a cafe style. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely has a lean to it, like a cafe bike.
And I tell you, walking around it, Don, I have to tell you this. We've seen the pictures. This is the first time I've seen it up close and personal, too. What do you think? Do you think the pictures do it justice?
No, again, they don't. The bikes actually look a lot better in person. The orange one looks really nice.
Who do you think the market is for the Judge?
I think it's going to fall to the older guys that are coming off of sport bikes, looking for something that's not quite the cruiser yet.
Well, as you know, we went through this before the Crossroads. I was with you when you took your first test ride. We know that you weren't totally impressed, but you ended up buying one a couple years later. Let's go on the record. What are your expectations of the Judge?
Hoping it handles really good and be a fun round-town bike.
Do you think there's room in your stable for this type of bike?
Absolutely. There's always room.
Well, I tell you what we're going to do now. They're holding down a place in line there. They're out for the rides. As soon as they get back and the Judge frees up, Don's going to get on. As soon as you get off, before you tell me a word, I want to get your first impressions. You ready?
Yep, we'll do it.
We'll be back in just a moment. Let me point out to everyone that, Don, you had to wait 2 laps to get in here because people gravitated for the Judge before you could get to it.
Yep, they're packing them in on this thing.
Okay, so you're sitting on it right now. Initial feel. I mean, granted, your feet are still on the ground. Riding position.
Riding position is a lot similar to a sport bike.
How about the seat?
Seat actually feels comfortable.
It feels comfortable. That's a compliment coming.
Yeah, for a factory seat, it feels comfortable.
I noticed the way the seat's designed, it's almost like it's a butt rest. So anyway, I think we're ready to go.
Yep, we're out of here.
Okay, we'll be back. Well, he's back from his ride. Don, what do you think of the Judge?
It's a very interesting riding position.
Well, tell me what you mean by that.
It's sort of, you have the arm reach like you're on a sport bike, and then your feet are sort of in the middle of a cruiser and a sport bike.
So how did it feel?
Felt good. I'd like to see them put some sort of fairing on the front of this to break some of the wind, but it felt that it was actually a pretty good ride.
Okay. For around town, what do you think?
Around town, it's a no-brainer. It would be a great bike to go around.
Okay, so up to what speed do you think it's comfortable?
I only got up to 50, so I'm not sure. Okay. But the wind in the face, I wouldn't want to ride at 70 all day on it.
Okay, with the riding position, how was it with slow speed maneuverability?
Very nice. It felt like you were on like a sport touring bike. It handled turns really well.
How about U-turns?
U-turn was no problem. You seen mine?
I'm sorry we didn't catch it on camera.
I didn't fall, so it's good.
So no tip-over protection needed?
No, not at all.
Okay, so any other words of wisdom about the bike?
It has a lot of vibration in the front end on the handlebars. If you're not used to leaning forward, you're probably going to end up with numb hands.
Okay, comparing it with your expertise on Vegases or Vegi, how do you compare it?
They're really totally different. This compares more with a Kingpin. I'm surprised to say that, but it really does compare more with a Kingpin as far as ride style.
Okay, so who do you think, after riding this, would be the market for this bike?
I'm sticking with the same thing. A sport bike guy that's just getting a little bit older, still likes that leaning forward type.
Okay. Now, how are the brakes on the bike?
Brakes are excellent. Front brake, it stops on a dime with just the front brake, which is surprising because the Vegas was horrible. I mean, I've said it many times, it had the worst front brakes of any bike I've ever been on.
So with the cafe-style seat where your butt's pushing up against the back of it, and the handlebars like that, do you think that helps enhance the handling?
Probably more with the wider tire on the front. Helps a lot more than anything else.
Now the question is, do you think you'd buy one?
I'd like to take a more spirited test ride without anybody in front of me.
Okay, I think he's been calling Andy Volusia shortly.
As soon as he gets one, I'll like to test ride it.
Well, I have to tell you, pictures didn't do this justice. It's a very, with the lines of the bike, it's a very classy, bike. I don't know what other way to say it. In the pictures, it's hard to tell that it's really a suede texture on here. But I'll tell you that, and the stitching is contrast on the seat. I didn't notice that in the pictures.
Yeah, I didn't either. The seat stitching looks really good. I would have liked it stitched the same color as the bike, like they did the LE.
I kind of like the offset here, and then with the different type of texture on the seat here, it's just a nice look to it. The other thing, when you look at it, when you just walk up to the bike, like in pictures, we notice that area there, like a place where some sort of signage or logo or something will go later. It doesn't jump out and bite you in person like it does in a photo. What do you think?
Right, the bike is definitely a lot better looking in person.
Kind of like me.
I don't know about that. You got a face for radio.
Hey, nice guy. Yeah. And I was going to say you won this bike, but guess what? Next. Anyway, Don, other people are coming up for the next test ride. Any final words of wisdom on the 2013 Victory Judge?
Take it for a test ride. If that's what you look for, you're going to love the bike.
Okay, you heard it. That's Don with his initial test ride of the 2013 Victory Judge. For the Vog.net, I'm the Gadget Guru, Andy Parr, and I'll see you on the road and online.